Ребята, всем привет! Сегодня мы с вами пройдемся по одним из самых полезных и нужных фраз на английском для среднего уровня, то есть уровня intermediate. Если вы хотите узнать, какие фразы носители языка реально используют в каждодневном общении друг с другом, которые, кстати, вы не найдете в школах либо в учебниках, а также научиться правильно их использовать, это видео для вас. Смотрим до конца. В конце раскрою небольшой секрет, как запомнить все эти фразы, как научиться их использовать. Итак, мы с вами начнем с фраз, которые мы обычно употребляем в начале общения с кем-то. What have you been up to? Which is used as part of greeting when you haven't seen someone for a long time and you're wondering how he or she is. For example, I haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to?
What have you been up to?
How have you been? Which is the same as how are you, but how are you isn't used nowadays. For example, oh, hi Jane, how have you been? Sure sounds good, which means it's a great idea to do something. Let's catch up later this week and chat. Sure sounds good. Watch your mouth, which is used for telling someone in an angry way that somebody shouldn't have told something. For example, I'm your mother, you can't talk to me like that, watch your mouth. Cut it out, which means stop it. For example, your behavior is awful, cut it out.
Cut it out!
If it were up to me, which means if I had to decide, if it was my decision. If it were up to me, education would be free everywhere. Yeah, especially in the United States and Great Britain. Look on the bright side, which means be optimistic about something despite all difficulties. For example, if someone tells you, I have lost my job. Well, look on the bright side. Your husband makes good money and now you can devote your time to something creative. Mind your own business. A way to tell someone to respect your privacy. For example, stop meddling in my personal life, mind your own business. I've got my hands full at the moment, which means you are very busy, extremely busy. Sorry, I can't catch up later this week. I've got my hands full with the project at the moment. When you want to say I think, it's better to use I figure or it seems to me. For example, I figure we should take a break. Or it seems to me you are worried for nothing. Let's grab, which means let's take something. For example, let's grab a cup of coffee and you will tell me what have you been up to. Or let's grab a bite to eat, I'm hungry. It goes without saying, which means something is obvious and it doesn't need to be explained. For example, it goes without saying that you need to learn English.
Goes without saying,
The bottom line, which means the most important. The bottom line is we should find a solution to this problem. I owe you one. A way to thank someone and say that you will do something in return for him or for her. For example, thank you so much for helping me with this project. I owe you one.
Thanks, Bart. I owe you one.
It's a real game changer, which means that something has a huge and a very important effect on something. For example, when Mark Zuckerberg came up with the idea of Facebook, it was a real game changer for all of us. Ups and downs, which means good and bad moments. While working, you will have your ups and downs, it's normal. I can relate. My favorite phrase, which means that you understand how someone must feel because you went through the same experience. For example, if you have a child and your friend, who has a child as well, tells you, God, raising a kid is so hard, and you will say, yeah, I can relate.
I can relate to that.
There is no need to worry, which is self-explanatory. Jane hasn't called today. I'm sure everything is fine. There is no need to worry. It matters, which means it is important. I know you think that this project is not important, but it matters to me. To start or to have the ball rolling, which means to start some activity. For example, when YouTube creators had the ball rolling, YouTube was just a dating website. It created a buzz. Very common phrase, which means it created huge interest in something. For example, when Justin Bieber announced his world tour, it created a buzz. At any cost, which means no matter how difficult it is, you should pass your exam at any cost. Off the top of my head, which means my first thought would be, for example, do you know why Kate is angry at me? I don't know, off the top of my head, maybe because you made a joke about her dress in front of everyone. Keep me posted, which means to make sure that someone knows what is happening. For example, keep me posted on how things go in your new job. Give me a break. Used to say that you don't believe what someone has said or has done. For example, by the way, I went to Harvard. Give me a break. I doubt that you even finished the high school.
Give me a break.
I think I'll pass, which is a polite way to say no. For example, you are tired, but your friend is inviting you to a nightclub. And to say no, you will say, well, thanks, but I think I'll pass. Where were we? Which means, where did we stop? For example, you were talking with someone but had to answer mobile phone, then you came back and you say, where were we? Did I get you right? Which means, did I understand you correctly? You are saying that he was trying to frame you. Did I get you right? Couldn't care less. When you don't care about something at all. Have you heard that Jack is coming back to the town? Couldn't care less, or I don't give a damn. What the heck? Used to ask why somebody made a stupid and irresponsible decision. For example, what the heck were you thinking about? To learn something the hard way, which means to learn something through personal experience, especially which is unpleasant, difficult, and painful. For example, YouTube didn't become popular overnight. Its creators learned how to do it the hard way, through mistakes. Fair enough, which means that it is reasonable. I think you should apologize to Kate as you were very rude last night. Fair enough, I will do it.
Fair enough.
That's mind-blowing, which means that something is extremely exciting and surprising. Every day, over 2 billion people use YouTube. It's mind-blowing. I was itching too, which means that you had a strong desire to do something. I was itching to ask her what happened yesterday. Just a hunch, which means it's just a guess when you don't know something for sure and you guessed it. For example, how did you know I did it? Just a hunch?
Just a hunch.
Вот и все. Мы с вами прошлись по более чем 30 полезным фразам, которые носители языка реально используют в общении друг с другом каждый день. Теперь самый главный вопрос. Как все это запомнить? Я сама когда-то запоминала эти фразы с помощью различных ассоциаций. То есть я брала какую-то фразу, представляла себе ситуацию в своей жизни, которая там произошла уже, либо еще произойдет, и пыталась использовать эту фразу. Ассоциации в запоминании очень важны, потому что с помощью них вы намного проще и надольше запомните какую-то информацию. Вам не обязательно сейчас прям садиться и учить все эти фразы. Нет. Возьмите 5-7 фраз и попробуйте с помощью них описать какой-то свой личный опыт. К остальным фразам вы всегда можете вернуться, потому что видео в общем доступе. Если вы и дальше хотите получать такие интересные видео, подписывайтесь на мой канал. Всем хорошей недели, всем пока!